The waves were loud that night, louder than her thoughts, but still not loud enough to silence them. Maya stood at the edge of a cold, jagged cliff, her bare feet gripping the rough stone as the wind pushed against her fragile body. In front of her, the ocean stretched endlessly, dark, violent, and unforgiving. Her life had fallen apart piece by piece. Debt, betrayal, loss. And the worst part was, she blamed herself for all of it. If I had just stopped earlier, if I hadn't trusted him. Her voice trembled and broke as tears mixed with the salty wind. She stepped closer to the edge. Just one more step and everything would end. No more fear, no more pain, no more regret. She closed her eyes and jumped. The ocean hit her body like solid stone. Within seconds, she was sinking, cold, heavy, silent. She tried to scream, but the water swallowed everything. Darkness quickly took over. When Maya opened her eyes again, the sunlight burned against her face. She coughed violently, choking as salt water rushed out of her lungs. Her body lay on rough sand, alive. She stared at the sky in disbelief. How? She didn't even know how to swim. Somehow, the waves had dragged her miles away and thrown her onto the shore. Slowly, she sat up and looked around. This wasn't the city. This wasn't home. This was an island. Small, silent, empty. No people, no buildings, just rocks, trees, and endless ocean in every direction. A weak, broken smile crossed her face. Even death doesn't want me. Her eyes drifted back to the ocean. She could still walk into it, finish what she started, end everything for good. She stood up, took a step, and then stopped. Something inside her shifted. Slowly, she sat back down. No, if she had survived this, maybe it meant something. Maybe she wasn't meant to die. But within hours, reality hit hard. Her throat burned with thirst. Her stomach twisted in pain. Her body felt weak and heavy. She searched desperately for water. The ocean was right there, but it was useless. Too salty. She tried anyway, but couldn't even swallow a single sip. Then, she noticed something between the rocks. A small puddle. Rainwater. Without thinking, she dropped to her knees and drank like her life depended on it. Because it did. Every drop felt like life returning to her body. But water wasn't enough. She needed food. With trembling legs, she walked deeper into the island. Her vision blurred, her strength fading. Then she saw them. Mushrooms growing near a tree. Her mind warned her they could be poisonous, but hunger was louder than fear. She picked them and ate. Each bite felt like a risk, but also a necessity. As night fell, the temperature dropped quickly. Rain began pouring from the sky. Maya's body started shaking uncontrollably. She hugged herself, trying to stay warm. Then, she remembered something she had once heard. Fire. Friction. She searched desperately for dry wood. Almost everything was soaked from the rain, but under a fallen tree, she found a few dry pieces. With trembling hands, she began rubbing two sticks together, again and again and again. Hours passed. Her hands blistered. Her arms ached. Her body felt like it would collapse. Then, suddenly, a spark. A tiny flame. She stared at it, almost in disbelief. That small flyer lit up her face, and for the first time since she arrived, she felt hope. But the next morning, everything changed again. Her head spun violently. Her stomach twisted in pain. The mushrooms. They were poisonous. Her body collapsed onto the ground, weaker than ever before. Every second felt heavier than the last. Now, she had a choice. Give up or fight. Lying there, barely able to move, she whispered to herself, I didn't survive the ocean just to die here. With all the strength she had left, she forced herself to stand. Every movement hurt. Every step felt impossible, but she kept going. Slowly, painfully, relentlessly. Near the shore, she found shells scattered along the sand. Inside them was soft, raw meat. It looked disgusting, but it was food. She ate it without thinking twice, not because she wanted to, but because she had to. Day by day, she began to adapt. She collected rainwater using leaves and stones. She learned where to find food. She learned to survive. But survival wasn't enough. She needed shelter. Using broken branches, she built a rough structure. But without rope, the pieces wouldn't hold together. Then, she found a way. She stripped bark from trees and twisted it with her hands, turning it into makeshift rope. Hours turned into days, and days turned into weeks. Finally, she built a small hut. It wasn't perfect. It was weak, fragile, but it was hers. That night, for the first time in a long time, she slept without fear. As days passed, food became easier to find, but never enough. She needed something better. Fish. But she had no net, no tools. Then she noticed birds gathering near the shore. An idea formed. She used bird droppings as bait and built a crude wooden trap in shallow water. That night, she couldn't sleep. What if it doesn't work? The next morning, she ran to the trap and froze. Inside, a massive fish was thrashing violently. Her heart pounded in fear. She stepped back instinctively, but hunger pushed her forward. With shaking hands, she picked up a sharpened stone and moved closer. It wasn't easy, but she did it. That day, she ate more than she had in months. Time passed. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Maya changed. The girl who once wanted to die was now fighting to live. Her body grew stronger, her mind sharper. She learned every corner of the island, every sound, every movement, every sign of life. But even then, something was missing. Human connection. The silence became heavier with each passing day. Loneliness slowly took over. One day, while standing near the shore, she noticed something far in the distance. Movement. Not a wave, not an animal, a person. Her heart began to race. Fear came first. What if there's someone dangerous? What if they're looking for me? Without thinking, she ran back to her hut. She hid inside, her body shaking, her breath uneven. She listened carefully, waiting, hoping, and fearing at the same time. Outside, footsteps echoed softly on the sand. Closer, closer, closer. Maya held her breath as tears rolled down her face. For the first time in months, she wasn't alone. But one question remained. Who had arrived on the island, and why?